view. And in this case, it was definitely better with a solid outcome. Shinsuke again wins against Baron Corbin. This match is a lot better than their Battleground match. So there's that. Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch defeats Lana and Tamina. Now, I can't knock a girl for trying. Lana's trying her best. Tamina, I never thought she was any good to begin with. Very sloppy. And she's just not good. She might understand the wrestling business because of her father before her, but she's not good. And it's almost like you're putting your varsity team against your freshman team in like high school football. You know, the freshman team's going to get killed. So, picture Lana and Tamina being the freshman team, with Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch being the varsity squad. Well, they didn't wait too long to lay waste to them as they defeat, again, Flair and Lynch defeat Lana and Tamina. Then the big news of the night, other than Jericho returning and then the U.S. title match being announced, you get John Cena and Jinder Mahal demands a challenger for SummerSlam. And, you know, again, as much as I don't like Jinder Mahal as a wrestler, I don't think he's a good WWE champion. He looks the part. He still looks the part of the WWE champion. That I'll give him. So Cena and Mahal have a promo. They exchange words. Then Cena pretty much says, well, I'm challenging you at SummerSlam, blah, blah, blah. Daniel Bryan comes out. And basically says, well, you don't make the matches I do. So, you know, I'm going to pit up guys who had 2 victories or who performed nicely at Battleground to wrestle each other at, you know, next week. Winner faces Jinder Mahal at SummerSlam. John Cena will get his chance, but he will have to defeat the King of Strong Style, Shinsuke Nakamura, which, okay, I get it, you want to boost your ratings for SmackDown Live. I totally get it, because, you know, I mean, both shows have been hurting. Ratings-wise. Not money, but ratings-wise. Supposedly they're not hurting money-wise. I don't know. A bunch of bull. So, why would you not have a match the caliber of Cena Nakamura on a pay-per-view to begin with? You know, number one, you're going to get a good ratings boost for that. Absolutely. And it's about getting ratings too. But that's the kind of match you wait for a special event for. Or a pay-per-view, or whatever you want to call it. But, as was announced, next week, John Cena, Shinsuke Nakamura, winner faces Jinder Mahal for the title at SummerSlam. I didn't watch this. Zayn and Dillinger versus Kanellis in English. Okay, whatever. Both Kanellis and English. Huge tag team backgrounds. New Day's celebration, and then the triple threat match. Now, the triple threat match was excellent. That also was a pay-per-view caliber match waiting to happen. But you get it on SmackDown Live, which, okay, it's okay. It's definitely okay. But again, that match was just phenomenal. It was off the charts. It needed nothing really more than just what it got. Unbelievable match. Very grateful that I got to watch it. I'm sure the fans are grateful to have watched it too. So that's SmackDown Live this week. Let me go into SummerSlam really quick, and then I'm going to head that out. So far, the announced matches for SummerSlam are SmackDown Women's Champion Naomi versus Natalya. Raw Women's Champion Alexa Bliss taking on Bayley. And the Universal title match between Brock Lesnar, who defends against Roman Reigns, Samoa Joe, and Braun Strowman. Now, I was hoping for that match weeks ago. But now that we're getting it, holy shit. Holy shit. I'm just so glad we're getting that match. It's going to be an all-out war. It's basically four super heavyweights. I mean, not so much in the term of weight, but just four colossal men going at it in Brock, Roman, Braun, and Joe. Like, it's really on a whole other level of just how that match is going to be. To the point where I think Brock's favoring Joe in matches, because Brock was supposed to face Corbin somewhere, and now he's facing Joe, like on a live show. I'm pretty certain that I'm almost certain that Brock probably helped make the change, because I don't want to wrestle him. I want to wrestle Joe again. That was fun, and it was a fun match. It was a really fun match. But could you imagine? Could you imagine also that maybe they have a Universal title change at a house show? People would be pissed off, like, oh, it's bullshit, you couldn't see it on TV. But again, there's the unpredictability factor. You had AJ Styles just win the United States title at Madison Square Garden. Now you're going to have another regular house show, and Brock Lesnar is not only going to be wrestling there, but maybe he'll defend the Universal title, and maybe he'll defend the Universal title, and maybe he'll lose it to Samoa Joe. Who knows? But that would be pretty sweet. Alexa, Bayley, we've seen it before. Then again, the Raw Women's Division is suffering the same fate of only the X amount of wrestlers that are really getting the chance, whereas wrestlers like Emma are there too, and they really, they deserve a chance to get a crack at it. But we'll see where they go from here. That, as I said, Naomi and Natalya. I would really like to see Natalya take it, but who knows? And that's it for now. Next week we'll find out if it's Shinsuke Nakamura or Cena against Jinder Mahal, and I'm sure within the next couple of weeks we'll be finding out a lot more of what's to be expected over at for SummerSlam in Brooklyn. And I'm already looking forward to NXT TakeOver Brooklyn Free. I mean, you got the main event of Drew McIntyre versus Bobby Roode for the NXT title. Drew McIntyre needs to be on the main roster, and he needs to make a big impact. But we'll discuss that another time in regards to who should be called this, that, the other. So maybe we'll get into that next week as I watch a little bit more of NXT. Maybe we'll get into that a little bit next week. So, but who knows, folks? Got a little time. SummerSlam's always been one of my favorite events of the year. It's Mania, Rumble, SummerSlam. Those are my three favorite events of the year. And now we see that SummerSlam's looking to be pretty damn good so far. But we still got weeks to go. And yeah, we're on that highway right there. No pun intended to Highway to Hell, SummerSlam 98. Alright, folks, that's going to do it for me here tonight. Tune in next week for me. Open Mic Wrestling Night live Thursday nights at 9 Eastern, Fill and Avoid Podcast Network. And then you also got have me on the Indie Power Ranking Singles Top 10 every Tuesday. So check out that as well. For anything Fill and Avoid Podcast Network related, Follow us at Filling the Void P on Twitter, Filling the Void PN on Instagram. Find us, Filling the Void Podcast Network on Facebook. All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. And I will definitely see you next week at some point. Go out and support your local independent wrestling this weekend. It's very important to do. Have yourselves a good night, everybody.